Well, hello, traders and investors. I'm LA Little, and this is your daily NeoTA wrap. We take a look at these markets. We do it from a neoclassical perspective. That means each day we look at it and ask ourselves what happened today. What does it tell us about the coming ones? I do the show 4 times a week, every Monday through Thursday. It's broadcast at or before 10 o'clock Eastern Time. It's archived on YouTube, son of a channel, LA Little. Also do a show on Sunday evenings if you're interested in a little bit broader view, long term. Not so much as short term as what you see here on a nightly basis. As far as what the markets did today, they did pretty much what we thought, and that is they climbed higher again. We had the S&P up slightly, about 2 points. Russell was the big winner, 0.75% higher. The NDX is the only one giving us a different clue tonight. The rest of them are saying, hey, we can go higher. If we look over in Europe, there it's interesting because tomorrow you got the Draghi, so we'll focus on that. ECB tomorrow, that's going to be kind of the mover. You have the employment number here on Friday. Had the beige book out today that was telling us that it's ho-hum, same sort of thing. Not too hot, not too cold. The market seems to like that, and it keeps putting a floor underneath everything as a result. Gold was down, pushes back up towards the end of the day. Dollar was down today about 0.5% as we move into the ECB. So the question is where we're going tomorrow. A large part of that is going to be the ECB, and so that says that we should focus to some extent on Europe, and we'll take a look at that here in a moment. I want to start with the S&P 500 though. What we have here, yesterday we were talking about is probably going to try and push back up again today. It actually didn't get over yesterday's high. It did test lower, tested back into the swing point high. The number there was 2084.87. It gets almost into it, not quite. I should have said almost test it. But it does push down. It's still playing with that 2103 number. Today it got to 2101 basically. So S&P continues to hold here at the highs, and the power moves continue to be in the tech stocks, primarily in the broad market NASDAQ, which actually got up and made a new high again today. Volume, of course, lighter than yesterday. We had pretty big volume yesterday, but it is pushing deep into the swing point high now. That top is 4969. It's traded as high as 4959 today. It looks to me like it's going to try to at least test that top. Now the NDX is the odd man out. That one actually got over, back under, less volume, extended move. Same thing as we saw Thursday. It's a 2-bar reversal. Now the problem, of course, is it is by itself. If you're a bear, the good thing is that this has been one of the leadership groups. And so this one's saying that we're going to try to come back in. The other leadership group has been the Russell. The Russell, as we said last night, was probably going to go back up and test that top again. That's what it did. Got over it, stayed over it, sets a new high, breaks another swing point on the way up. So we've got very different action in the sense that the NDX failed, but you've got powerful action here in the Russell. This hasn't stopped. I want to bring your attention to something else, and then we're going to go look at Europe. Last week we filled up the slots for that video. Not so much video, it's like a seminar. I'm going to do 3 days, Neoclassical. I was looking for 10 people, got 10 people, or at least 10 people that spoke for it. 7 have paid up, 3 are still on the bubble. I haven't seen a check yet, so I'm going to open it back up for 3 more slots. So if you missed it and you were interested, and you did send me your name already, or if you haven't, you need to speak back up. Let me know that you're interested. Let's fill up those last 3 slots. I'm going to do that seminar starting in a couple weeks. Going to go for 3 different weeks, so a day at a time, 1 day per week. I'm going to give you a lot of material to digest. It's a crash course on neoclassical theory and practice. So it's going to be hands-on the last day, where we actually use live intraday charts, and I'm going to show you the setups on those live charts, just as you would find them on a daily chart, weekly chart, or whatever. Ingrain those principles. I'm going to teach you the first 2 days. If you're interested, all you need to do here is pop me an email at tat@tatoday.com. Just send me an email, tell me that you're interested. I'll send you the information or have it sent to you, And then you know, if you're one of the first 3 that signs up for your subscription, you get this 3-week course, Neoclassical crash course, as a benefit for doing so. So if you want to learn NeoTA, you want to know how it works, pop me an email. Let's pop over to Europe and take a look at those charts. You know, the European market lately has been really driven by Switzerland. It's been given the best reads. You always want to try to pick out who's giving you the best reads and go with that particular index. And last night, or actually today in Europe, the SMI gets under back over on a little pullback back into a swing point high. So let's outline this so you can see it from a neoclassical perspective. So you get up here, you do a little reversal. Remember we said that's going to give us a pullback. There's your pullback. You're coming back into this bar. That's your swing point high. Today you get under back over. Your volume's a little bit lighter. That says this is going to try and turn and push back up tomorrow. That's what the probabilities suggest. If you look at it from this perspective, you do a breakout here on this bar, you get up, you come back within 6 bars. Now this is where you have conflicting data. This little reversal potential is saying we're going to try to get back higher tomorrow. On this retest regen, because it comes back within 6 bars, usually you get, you know, anywhere from halfway down to the bottom of that zone. It's a pretty big zone, so that says that, yeah, you could try and pop up, but it looks like you're going to try to get a little bit lower before it's over. But Switzerland, given the best reads, I think we're going to see data as a result of looking at this chart and looking at the currency charts. I think we're going to see data out of Europe tomorrow, out of the ECB tomorrow, that's going to suggest they're going to try to talk this market into selling euros rather than actually doing something. So what are they going to say? I don't know, but that looks to be the setup from the perspective of what are they trying to accomplish. They're going to try to get them to sell the euro, and they're going to have to do it, it looks like, mostly on talk versus on action, and probably more promises out of Draghi. If that's the case, then you might see a little push back up and then roll back over, do a little ABCD structure, you know, set up something like this, right, bounce it back up and then roll it back over to get down in here and test the bottom of this zone. So a little pop maybe tomorrow that doesn't last very long is the way it looks to me as I look at this chart. If I look over at the currencies, it also looks like it's going to try to hold here and not going to do much more. We got the dollar weakening a little bit today with a little bit more volume, but it's coming into the bottom of this bar. 24.71 there, 24.70 is where it closes. The swing point high is back here. Just looks to me like it's going to kind of grind back in there again and kind of just stay in this zone. If the dollar's dropping, the euro's going to be rising. If the euro's rising, that's not going to help the European markets. So maybe some sort of an attempt to get higher on the dollar tomorrow that then reverses as well. And if I look over at the euro, it kind of looks like the same story. Looks like they've sold these markets in advance of the ECB. Now they're probably going to get some sort of a retrace back up as a result of the ECB. And when I look at the gold market, silver market, they also seem to suggest the same thing. Gold gets under, back over, has slightly less volume, I believe it was. Let me check. Yeah, slightly less volume. So you get under, back over, you're at the bottom of the range. If you pull the gold over on a weekly basis, you're at the bottom of this range. On the weekly, if it holds, you're going to see a little reversal here to pop it back up in the range. And silver also did the same sort of thing today, a little bit different in that silver actually came back in to do the retest regenerate that like we just showed on the SMI. And let me draw it in here and you can see that. So you come into it, you're doing a full retest, which is not typical at this point, but not, well, actually, I'd have to measure it again. I've forgotten if that was actually a touch. 1528, 29, 32, 30. No, so it hasn't touched. So you go way more than 6 bars, come back, you test into it, and you get deep into it. Again, not typical. Doesn't happen that way most of the time. Usually you stop at the top, but usually This sort of a setup gives you a very high probability of some sort of a move back to the top side, at least some sort of a bounce, if not a continuation move in the direction of that breakout, which in this case was to the top side. So what does it look like tomorrow? Well, I've kind of summed it up already. Maybe some sort of a strength in Europe to start the day, that maybe that bleeds over in the US, but I don't know that it's going to last all that long. Again, if you want to get on the train here, 3 slots open. Write me at tat@tatoday.com, and I'll get you some information on that seminar that comes along with a year subscription, free seminar, crash course on NeoTA. It's coming from me. I originated the theory. I can teach you how it works and get you a good jump start on how to use the theory along with all the tools here on the site to help you out. That's it for tonight. Have a great one. See you later. Bye.